What it do, peeps? It's the Beat Chef with Watch the Damn Tape. Georgia, Notre Dame, Sugar Bowl. We're going to get into it next. This game was defense. And it really was going to come down to who was going to make the mistakes. Georgia made the mistakes and Notre Dame capitalized. Notre Dame forced 3 fumbles, recovered 2 of them, and they got 2 of them in the biggest times. ETN, Georgia was driving. Notre Dame came up with the big fumble, stopped that drive. Right before the half, Georgia backed up, force a fumble, recover, score immediately on a nice throw from Leonard. A real good throw. The Leonard kid, he showed a lot of poise this game. And he was like, basically, he said, you know what? Get on my back. I got you guys. Led the team in rushing, threw for 154 yards, ran for 80. Led the team in rushing. Big time. Got some key first downs with his feet. It's just like, it was one of those games where you could tell they're well coached. Marcus Freeman does a good job with Notre Dame. He didn't force anything. If it wasn't there, he took off. I like seeing that. Hey, man, 5 yards is better than taking a 50-yard sack. 5 yards is better than being a punting on 4th down. Keep the chains moving. Keep the clock rolling. And keep the pressure on Georgia. And that's what Notre Dame did. Their defense played. Defense came in undersized. 9 tackles for loss. They were undersized by like 50 pounds. So Georgia got big corn-fed dudes up front. Notre Dame, lighter team, about 280, 290. Gave up a lot. But one thing they had speed, and they had a lot of heart. And you can't measure neither one of those. Definitely can't measure heart. Speed. They were working that left tackle for Georgia. Big time. They were running by him, around them, all game. Doing little stunts, getting up front, and constantly putting pressure on Gunner. Constantly. I mean, it was a trip. I mean, it was David versus Goliath, their O-line versus the D-line. It was a lot of warfare, a lot of big hitting. Notre Dame safeties were coming down, making plays, and that stymied Georgia's running attack. Georgia only had 62 yards rushing. You know, of course, they threw 234. Stockton threw that, but just one big play that they gave up. Notre Dame's defense pretty much kept Georgia at bay. I mean, they kept them bottled up. The run game was non-existent, except for that one big pass play. It wasn't really much that Notre Dame was threatened by with the passing attack. Georgia couldn't get the running game uncorked. Their bevy, and they had a ton of running backs. And Notre Dame bottled the whole running back group up. On offense, Riley Leonard, you know, like I said, 80 yards rushing, 154 yards passing, but the poise. The poise was big for me. No turnovers. No interceptions. There wasn't almost interception. He had a great game. It didn't look fantastic statistically, but keeping the chains moving, he did it. He kept the chains moving. Kirby Smart, they threw everything at the kid. I mean, he took some sacks. He got hit a lot. He got hit, but it was a defensive game. Georgia's tough. Also, special teams. Kicker made some clutch field goals to extend the lead. And coming out of the half, Jaden Harrison with that 98-yard kickoff return was a backbreaker and a huge game changer. Swung momentum Notre Dame's favor, got the crowd into it, took Georgia completely out the game. I think they just caught them off guard. Special teams, this was an all around, all three phases game. We're actually all four phases. Golden called a great defensive game. They executed well on offense. And Marcus Freeman didn't get lost in the moment, didn't do any unnecessary gadget plays at the wrong time, and it turned into a disaster. All around great coaching effort. Offensive game, defense, and special teams. Well done by Notre Dame. Shout out to Marcus Freeman. Getting this bowl win is big for the program. They're moving on. And that's going to be a hell of a game on a short turnaround against Penn State. Going to be a great game. But I just enjoy good football. It was a good, solid football game. The refs weren't in the game. It wasn't like the Texas game. You didn't have no calls and no controversy. Notre Dame spanked them. They whooped them on the field. There wasn't no denying. Can't nobody sit there and say, "Oh man, they got cheated." No, this was smash mouth football. This was who's going to make the mistake, who's going to do too much, and who's going to make the big play. And Notre Dame made plays, and they capitalized off those turnovers, and that was the difference in the game. But I'd like to hear what you guys think, and what do you think about Notre Dame's chances next week against Penn State on a short turnaround? Let me know in the comments. New subscribers, welcome aboard. Old subscribers, thank you for rocking with your boy. And until next time, peace.